All right. So I think it's recording, and I think this time I'm going to hit unmute. So I'm going to just line this up for you guys. Oh, why is everything backwards now? All right. I flip this thing. So, all right. I'm sorry, guys. There should be a way to flip this. I don't know why. Unfortunately, everything's going to be backwards in the gram stain. But literally, remember, with the gram stain, we're going to be, our primary stain is going to be crystal violet. It's going to be attracted to the inside charge of the bacterium. And crystal violet is going to be your primary stain. We're going to flood the smear with crystal violet for 60 seconds. All right, it's going to go into the peptidoglycan layer of the gram positive. Remember, that's 80 to 100 layers thick it can be. And it's going to go through the outer membrane of the gram negative into the LPS layer, peptidoglycan layer, and then into the cell wall of the bacterium. So it's going to go all the way through on all of them. So here's crystal violet. This is our mixed Bacillus, E. coli, Staph aureus, Entero, Proteus, and Pseudomonas. All right, I'm going to go look at the clock. All right. Remember, this is going into both gram positive and gram negative. Then our next, we're going to rinse this off, not power wash it. Then we're going to put our morton, which is the iodine, on for 60 seconds. That's going to go in. It's going to attach to the crystal violet. It's going to make a morton or a salt. All right. Then when we go and apply the alcohol to that, it's going to alter the peptidoglycan layer, breaking up the NAN and NAG units, all right, altering it. And the theory is that it's going to alter it, change the shape of it, so it's going to be even harder for our morton salt to leave. So we'll do that about, we'll give it about 5 more seconds. All right. I'm going to just gently rinse this off. Okay. So at this point right now, everything, gram positive and gram negative, right, is taken on the primary dye, which is crystal violet. Right. And just remember that, because they love to test you on what's the primary, what's the counter stain, you know, what's the mortons, what would happen if you forgot to add the iodine, what would happen if you forgot to put the ethyl alcohol in, what if you left the ethyl alcohol on too long, and I'll kind of see if I can walk you through all that, explain it to you. So now we're going to get the iodine. Right. So remember, this is making a salt. Positive and negative charges that come together makes a salt. So it's making the compound even larger. So now once it adheres to that inside the bacterium, it doesn't want to leave easily because it's much larger. Right. And we'll give that about 40 more seconds. All right, so now we've added the mortant, iodine, and again, this is a negative charge. So it's going to combine with that and make a salt inside of the bacterium, gram positive and gram negative. going to just rinse that off. I don't know if it's exactly 60 seconds, but 45 to 60. Doesn't matter because we're doing it consistently with all of them, so it's not going to make that big of a difference. All right, now we're adding our decolorizer. So this is the important steps. This is going to go in, and it's going to break down the lipid layer of that peptidoglycan layer, also the shape of it, and then it'll make it even harder for the morton to come back out through. Okay, so we're going to decolorizer on it. All right, and this we just want to not leave on too long. If we leave it on too long, we literally can take the stain out of the gram positive and the gram negative. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll rinse that. All right, now in theory, what should happen now is that all the gram positive should be purple because we put the crystal violet in and the iodine in, so we made them mortoned. We just decolorized them. So in theory, the gram negative has a much thinner peptidoglycan layer, so it should have pulled the crystal violet out of the gram negative. It's still in the gram positive, in theory. All right. Now we're going to counterstain it with saffron in. Okay, so that should, the saffron is going to go into both gram positive and gram negative. Remember that. But the gram positive, that crystal violet, is going to be much darker. So it's going to overshadow the saffron. And the saffron is more of a pink color. That's what it says. Flood the smear with saffron for 30 seconds. Okay. So once again, this is going into both gram positive and gram negative. But in theory, the gram negative should have no color to them now or be completely decolorized. Now it's going to take up the saffron in. I'll give that another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to rinse that. Now, if you notice the 2 slides in the front, in my simple stain, I'm going to just literally do them with methylene blue. And methylene blue takes forever, so I'm going to do, I don't know, 60 seconds or so. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be blotting these. You just kind of blot. Really careful. We're just going to blot some of this off. And you want to do this gently. I remember the first time I went to show this in lab, I did it too much and I literally broke the slide in half, so that was awkward. Blot that. Just rinse those simple stains. Quick. Blot my last 2 here. Just make sure I didn't leave any in there. Done that before too. I'm going to blot my 2 simple stains. All right, I'm going to hit the pause button. Oh, good Lord. It's like a bloody mess now. All right, and media.